Welcome back to PH.d TV, and today I'll be going over Cremo Silver Water and Birch Cologne. Alright, so I don't know if you've seen the prior videos or not, which I'll put it right here for what I'm about to reference, but Cremo has decided to sponsor me in these reviews, therefore sending me samples of their fragrances for me to review on my channel. And now with that being said, this is a Cremo sponsored video, but that is not to say that I am not going to give you my full fragrance opinion in terms of the quality and what I think of it. So if there's any cons to it, I will let you know. And if there's anything great to it, and if there's anything just fantastic about it, I will 100% let you know. Because this one, even though I love the other two, which the ones I have reviewed have been Spice and Black Vanilla, which I will put up here, and the other one was Bourbon and Oak, which I will also put up here somewhere. I have debatably been more excited to try this one than any of the other ones. Because according to Fragrantico reviews, this is a $23 version, again from what I've heard, of Creed's Silver Mountain Water, which to me, debatably, that is Creed's best fragrance other than Aventus. So let's jump on into it. Alright, so if you've seen any of my other videos, I have gone over the Cremo boxes. They're all very uniform, so I will just be touching base on what makes these boxes specific to the fragrances in the video special. Alright, so obviously, as you know, we're going over Silver Water and Birch. As always, even though they say it's a cologne, this is actually an eau de toilette. It teases a light, refreshing scent with notes of spring water, lavender, and white musk. And as always, they do put the top, middle, and base notes on their box. So this one we can expect ice spring water accord with lavender and white musk. Ooh, I cannot tell you how excited I am for this one specifically. And as I've always shown, the box does come with a special packaging layering, which is very protective. Sometimes makes it hard to get the fragrance out itself, but again, as I've always said with these things, I'd rather struggle and get it out perfectly fine than not struggle and find I have a damaged product. So thank you for having good packaging. And here is the bottle. As you've seen in the other videos, these bottles are very uniform, aside from this one label on each bottle. As always, you do have the Cremo in raised font on both sides, and you have the very snug cap, which just is really snug and goes right into place. Now, I'm going to say that if any of the other atomizers have told me anything from these Cremo fragrances, that this one will be very good as well. Yep, that's a very good atomizer. Oh, that's nice. So this one, I was going in a little more, not nervous, but with a little bit of curiosity, because even though it does smell like one of Creed's most popular fragrances, the likability factor is here and there in terms of the Fragrantico review, which I will put right here. Because even though, yeah, people did love and like it, it leans a lot more towards the liking factor than a lot of the love factor, which is where a lot of the other Cremo fragrances work. Because I know the Bourbon and Oak and the Spice and Black Vanilla one were very high on the love factor, whereas this one was just like for the most part. So I was very curious, and I can see why. I think the reason is because this will take a very specific type of person to wear it, I guess you could say. It definitely does have that metrosexual type fragrance to it. I'm not gonna sit here and say that this is gonna be the manly man fragrance of the Cremo line. I'm gonna say that this could be potentially used as a unisex fragrance. Very much leans towards the masculine side compared to the feminine, but I am gonna say that I'm not gonna see a lot of manly men wear this unless they are pushing 60, and then it will smell like they're aged to a certain degree, because I do know a lot of older gentlemen wear Creed Silver Mountain Water specifically when they're older, whereas Aventus can be seen for more of a younger audience. But I think this is actually a very good fragrance. It's very close, not identical, to Creed Silver Mountain Water. It's like it takes out that, I guess from what other people calls it and what from I would probably call it, that inky note. But you can't deny that that is just one calming smell. I could easily see this, and I know it is for some, I know for at least one other fragrance YouTuber that I have seen, he puts this fragrance or Creed Silver Mountain Water. I'll probably say this one because it's less expensive, because this is a very calming fragrance for night. But if you were to wear it, during the day, I would definitely suggest wearing this during the day. This is not going to be take your girl downtown at night. This is very much a daytime fragrance. Not to say you can't wear this at night. There's nothing saying you can't. You do you. to, but with most fragrances, typically a time and place and situation is imagined when making a fragrance, and I see this being very much a daytime type scent. Very high heat, very end of spring, very early fall. Never mind, I could see you wearing this in fall, but as soon as it starts snowing, as soon as temperatures drop below 40 or 50, this one's gonna be out for the count in my opinion. And I'll tell you what, and even though that, you know, so that aquatic accord from the silver water is essentially going down, and that the lavender and white musk are kind of coming in together at one time. The lavender kind of being expedited in my opinion, but it's starting to become very woody and that aquatic is still vaguely there actually. If it means anything, I will bring up if it does mean anything, I will bring up the main accords from Fragrantica right here, just so you can see what we're looking at, what we're imagining. And as you see with the Fragrantica thing, I'm gonna say that, I don't know where they get the leather note from. I mean, I can get where they're coming from, but I don't know if I would straight up say that's leather. But above all, I'm going to say that this is a very fresh smell. Not for the manly men anyway, but if you're just looking for something for like the beach, this would be a great beach fragrance. Maybe even a vacation. This would even be a very good summer vacation type smell. And I have to say, out of all of these so far, between the bourbon and oak and between the spice and black vanilla ones when I've worn it out and about, this has been the most complimented thus far. And I'm honestly gonna put it this way. While spice and black vanilla does smell like a spice bomb extreme, making it to be a great nighttime fragrance, very fall and very winter specific, and the bourbon and oak is a very good sensual date night smell and things like that, they are a fragrance that costs $23, but they smell like they're in the $70 to $80 range, which is very good because that means they smell like a very expensive fragrance in comparison to what they really are. Whereas this very much smells like the $415 referencing Creed fragrance that we've talked about by a good bit. This one just smells expensive. And again, $23, but it smells like it's easily pushing over that $100 range. In my opinion, I think this smells very expensive. Yeah, if you told me that what you were wearing, say if you were wearing this and I asked a buddy, I said, what are you wearing? And you told me you were wearing something that was from Cremo, which nothing wrong with Cremo. I think their fragrances are fantastic. As they say, astonishingly superior products. But that's not to say for a fragrance, for something that they're able to sell as inexpensive as what they are able to, tickle me impressed. And I wore this the other day, as I said, obviously got compliments from it. I got a compliment from this 6 hours after I put this on. And as I typically say in these reviews, if you've seen any of my other videos, I tend to drink up a fragrance pretty hard. Fragrances don't really last on me, long story short. I don't have oily skin, therefore my skin just soaks it up, and next thing you know, most fragrances are gone after that 4-hour mark. Tops. Sometimes I have to reapply after that second or third hour. I have literally in the past had people over for like a little get together party, and I've snuck away to the bedroom to reapply. Whereas this guy, and with any of the Cremo line fragrances, I have been able to put these on once a day and be perfectly fine. So with that being said, I'm gonna give projection and longevity. For this one specifically, I'm going to say that this one's probably the most intermediate in terms of longevity and projection. Projection is gonna be a solid 9 out of 10. This is probably gonna be the one that projects the most. But in terms of longevity, this one, I'm gonna give a solid 8.5. It's not quite a 9, which is where I do believe I put the spice and black vanilla fragrance, but it's longer than the bourbon and oak, which I do believe I gave an 8. So 8.5 on longevity, 9 on projection. And in terms of scent, I'm kind of gonna have to do what I did with the spice and black vanilla and give it a rating based on the overall scent, if you're gonna really look at it as a scent for what it is, and also for what's the rating in terms of a manly scent, because it is targeted towards men. Therefore I feel like for a man's fragrance, this is gonna be a 6 out of 10. Only because, similar to the spice and black vanilla, if you put this on a man, you'll pick up the more masculine notes, but you can easily put this on a female and get a more feminine note from it. It's a very down the middle of the line fragrance, but again, smells expensive, but works for both sexes in my opinion. And from people who have reviewed this fragrance on Fragrantica, I'm going to also say that they have that opinion as well, that you have to be a brave man to wear this and accept that it smells good. You will smell expensive, but depending on who you roll with in your crowd, they may be wondering why you're wearing perfume if they don't associate it with cologne. Completely up to you, but for a man's fragrance, 6 out of 10. But for fragrance in total, oh man, I'm gonna have to think about this, because I actually like this fragrance more than the bourbon bourbon and oak in terms of fragrance. Bourbon and oak works with me better, but this fragrance has something special. As I said multiple times now, it's a $23 fragrance that smells like it is well over the $100, $200 fragrance area. So with that being said, this fragrance, and I'm gonna cheat big time here, I'm gonna get 11 out of 10 because I put 10 out of 10 for the bourbon and oak, and this is just a better scent in my opinion, even though bourbon and oak is so good. But yeah, 11 out of 10. Therefore, this is actually going to just barely look right over Spice and Black Vanilla in terms of fragrances, in terms of overall score, which this is gonna be a 9.5 for me. But if I was saying this was a man's fragrance, I would say this is a 7.3 out of 10, unfortunately. But again, if you can push through the fact that this can be unisex, you will find an absolute gem. A hidden gem, I would say. And in terms of where I would wear this, I think this is gonna be the most expensive smelling cologne on the Cremo list from what I've tried so far. Therefore, I would say this is gonna be your suit and tie alternative if you want to throw something relatively inexpensive on. Great for date night. You could easily wear this at a 5-star restaurant. And honestly, you can wear this casual. Like it's probably gonna be the most versatile. Whereas the Spice and Black Vanilla one, that's gonna be one for like a more casual date night. Bourbon and oak, very casual, more of a sensual type setting. Whereas this can be used all day and all night. As I said, probably not in the winter, but this can be all day, all night in terms of fall, summer, and spring. So, and would I buy this again? 100% I would buy this again. I'd probably buy this before any of the other ones as of right now. But yes, I like this a lot. This is fantastic. And again, you can get this for $23 at a Target or Walmart, but I know my local Target sells it, so I'm gonna say for a fact that Target will have that. I just can't stop smelling it, God. And that's my review on Silver Water and Birch from Cremo. Thank you, Cremo, if you are watching this. Thank you for sponsoring this video. And thank you to those who have subscribed. And if you have not subscribed, please like and please subscribe down below. And I got one more Cremo review coming up, so please keep up with this, and I'll see you next time.